long time no see. It's been like a month and a half since I have uploaded a video, which is really long, but our family has been super busy and I just kind of wanted to take a little break. I wasn't feeling very motivated or anything, so I don't ever want to feel forced to make a video. But I wanted to come on today because I have a really exciting announcement. I am pregnant with baby number 2, but really it's kid number 3 for us. We have Lexi, our oldest, who's 13. She is not mine by birth, but she is mine by choice. She is Kevin's biological child, and she lives with us full time, so I'm the only mama she knows. Then we have Kaysen, who's my firstborn. He is 2. He was 2 in December. And then we have this new baby. Baby is due on September 30th. So as I'm filming this, I'm 13 and a half weeks. I will be 14 weeks at the end of the week on Friday. So I do plan on filming kind of like a first trimester kind of update, symptoms, bump, all that stuff. I do want to document this pregnancy, so I will be uploading pregnancy vlogs and updates. I don't know if it'll be every week or every 2 weeks, once a month. I'm not sure exactly how I'll do that, but the videos for that will most likely be posted on either a Friday or a Saturday. I still want to do like my beauty videos and my regular videos, but I do want to document this pregnancy. So if you're interested in knowing all about this second pregnancy, then you will get updates in those pregnancy vlogs. But also, side note, if you hear an echo in here, we recently redid our flooring. We have wood tile now, and I don't have a rug in here yet, so it's kind of echoey. But yeah, I wanted to come on here and let you guys know. I like watching pregnancy vlogs and mommy-related videos, so I'm excited to do kind of these pregnancy updates and all that stuff. So this is actually my third pregnancy, second baby. My first pregnancy was Kaysen. It was just such a blessed pregnancy. I just enjoyed it so much, and it was so easy. Labor and delivery was a dream. I got so lucky with my first pregnancy. Second pregnancy, not so much. I found out I was pregnant in September, I think. September of last year, September 2015. And I went in for my 9-week scan, and there was no baby. I was diagnosed with a blighted ovum, which is a missed miscarriage. Basically what that is it happened at conception when the egg and the sperm come together. My body recognized that something wasn't right. What my doctor told me is typically with a blighted ovum, it's due to a chromosomal abnormality. So instead of a natural miscarriage, my body the embryo didn't form. My body continued to think that I was pregnant. So, my uterus was still growing and everything was still going along as normal. I was still, my HCG levels, I guess, were still rising, all that stuff. So when I went in for my ultrasound to see if I had a viable pregnancy, there was no baby. I had a big old sac, but it was empty. And that was a shock for me. I was very upset. I was very, very sad about that because I wasn't expecting it. And we had already told, our family and our friends, and it was just a shock because I was so blessed and had such just like an easy, wonderful pregnancy the first time around. So it was really upsetting, but I ended up having to have a D&C because my body it just wasn't miscarrying on its own. A D&C is I think it's called like a dilate and curettage or something. It's where they had to put me under. I had to go in to a surgical center. I didn't have to go to the hospital. It was just a surgical center. And they went in and they took out the sac and cleaned me out and all that good stuff. And they did a pathology report on everything. There was absolutely no baby whatsoever. The baby just never formed, but they tested everything that they took out of me, and my test did not come back abnormal. Everything was normal. So it was just some kind of freak, sorry my eyelashes, just some kind of freak thing And apparently, blighted ovums are very common. Apparently it happens, 50% of miscarriages end up being that, and a lot of them go undiagnosed. Like my doctor was saying that, for some women who, just feel like their period's late, and they may get their period like a week or two late, and they notice that it's extra heavy more than normal. My doctor said that most often that's not just a regular normal heavy period, it's actually a blighted ovum and it's a miscarriage. But so she said a lot of the times it happens before a woman even knows that she's pregnant. So even though I was very sad and upset that had happened, I like to try to turn negatives into positives. So I looked at it this way. My doctor told me that if due to blighted ovums most likely being a chromosomal abnormality, either there was something wrong with the egg or there was something wrong with the sperm. It just didn't have all the genetic makeup that it was supposed to. She said that if that baby would have formed, it would in no shape or form be healthy. So I've just been trying to look at that as more of a positive thing, kind of like a blessing in disguise. Like, I'm glad that happened because my baby would not have been healthy, and I would not have wanted that for my child, and I wouldn't have wanted that for myself. So I know that it could have been a lot worse. So I'm thankful for how that worked out. But I had my D&C at the beginning of November. I believe it was November 9th, and my doctor told me that sometimes women get pregnant right away, and then sometimes it takes like 2 to 3 months for them to start ovulating again. And after my D&C, I bled for about 3 weeks. It was just like how when I delivered Kaysen. I bled for about 3 weeks, and then it stopped. And then I had a break for about a week, I think almost 2 weeks, and then I started bleeding again. And I think that was my first real period after the D&C because it lasted for 7 days. After that period, I went ahead and took a pregnancy test just to make sure that all of my HCG level, like all the HCG hormone was out of my body, and the test was negative. And then I went ahead and took an ovulation test just to see if I was ovulating already, and the ovulation test was negative as well. So my first real period was at the beginning of December. So I had a D&C on November 9th, and I think December 6th, I started my first period after D&C, and that was about 7 days. Christmas Day, I started again, which my periods normally are like 28, 29 days, so that was early. It was like a week early, so I didn't know if I was just starting early or if it was just leftover or what. I didn't know if my body had gone back to normal. Nothing like that. So that period only lasted 3 days. It wasn't long at all. It wasn't heavy. It was just, just very light. It wasn't anything too bad. So at the end of January, I hadn't started again yet. So I was like, either my body, it just isn't back to normal. This is going to take forever. I don't know. So I decided to just, for shits and giggles really, decided to get a pregnancy test. And Kevin was home working on the computer that day. So I came home from the store and I go, hey, I have this pregnancy test. I really don't think it's going to be positive or anything, but I'm just going to take it just to see. And it was one of the clear blue digital with the week estimators on it. And so I was putting groceries away and stuff, and he was all anxious, and he goes, oh, did you take the test yet? And I was like, no, I'm in no rush. I'll take it in a minute. So after I, cleaned up around the house and put groceries away and stuff, I took the pregnancy test, and I just left it on the counter in the bathroom. And I went into his office, and I was like, okay, I took it. It's in the bathroom. I'll check it in a little bit. And apparently he was like anxious and nervous about it. So he went in there and was watching the test, and the test blinks as it works. It's got like this little, if you haven't ever taken a clear blue pregnancy test, one of the digital ones, it's got this little, what is it? One of those timers with the sand in it. I don't know what the name of it is called, but it was blinking, and then he goes, it says pregnant, but it's still blinking. And I ran in there and I was like, what? And I went over there and I looked, and it said pregnant, and then it was still blinking at the bottom. So the week's estimator was still like trying to figure out what my weeks were. And I was like, oh my God, Kevin, I'm pregnant. And he goes, that's what that means? And I'm like, it says pregnant, crazy. So it said pregnant. I was like shocked. I was like, oh God, here we go again, you know? And then the weeks estimator popped up and it said 2 to 3 weeks. And that doesn't mean 2 to 3 weeks pregnant. It's 2 to 3 weeks since you ovulated. So add 2 weeks to that, and I was like 4 to 5 weeks pregnant. And I was like, holy crap, are you freaking kidding me? Like, this is insane. I can't believe this right now. I was excited, really excited for kind of not really excited, but kind of like in disbelief for like the first couple days. And then my anxiety set in. And I was so anxious and nervous because I had had that blighted ovum, that missed miscarriage, and during that whole time of me having that, I had no idea that anything was wrong. I felt pregnant, I was having all the symptoms, everything, so it was really rough for the first 2 weeks that I had found out that I was pregnant. I cried a lot. I was like just so nervous and anxious and worried and depressed, and it was horrible. I was like, I want to be excited about this pregnancy, but I was just so nervous because I didn't want to get excited about it again. Sorry. I didn't want to get excited about it again and then have that happen to me. So I called my doctor because I wasn't sure how far along I was. The pregnancy test said 4 to 5 weeks. So I figured probably December 25th was probably like my second actual period, and then I started ovulating after that. So I called my doctor to set up my first ultrasound appointment, and it was gonna be for when I was like 9 weeks pregnant. So I was like, oh, I don't wanna wait this long again. Like, it was torture. I was like, I can't wait that long again. I'm gonna go crazy, but they stuck to it because, you know, they were like, if you come in any earlier than that, like 6 or 7 weeks, you're gonna be freaked out and even nervous then, because sometimes it's way too early to even see if there's a baby. Sometimes you can't even see heartbeat yet, so I had to wait it out. Like I said, those first 2 weeks, I was so upset, so nervous. I was just a mess. But after those 2 weeks of me being upset, we started going back to church, and that church service that we went to that Sunday was just like, felt like they were speaking straight to me. They were talking, the whole sermon was talking about different types of people, and mainly like people that worry and worriers, and how, you know, sorry if you don't believe in God or anything, but I'm a Christian, so I'm going to relate this back to that. But how in the Bible God tells us not to worry and to trust in Him and give all of our worries and our anxieties to Him, that He will make it okay. So after that, I was like, you know what? I can't keep doing this to myself. I can't keep stressing out, because I don't want to stress so much that I end up affecting this baby if it is healthy. I ended up getting my HCG levels drawn and my progesterone levels drawn because I was really nervous that this pregnancy wasn't progressing the way that it should. So when I was about 4.5, 5 weeks along is when they called me in to do the blood work. And my HCG levels, the first draw that they did was on a Friday, and those levels were, I think, around like 550. And then I went in on that Monday to get it done again, and my HCG levels had perfectly doubled. I think my HCG levels were like 1,100 and some change, or 1,200 and some change. And then my progesterone levels, the Friday when I went in, those were at 19. And when I went in again on Monday, they had gone up to 24. So they said that those levels were perfect, that they had no reason to be worried, and that based on how high my progesterone levels were for how far along I was, that was a good indicator that the pregnancy was and should be healthy. So they told me, you know, this isn't 100%, but this is a good indicator, so try to keep your head up. So after all that, and after we went to church and stuff, I just felt so much better about everything. And then the month that I had to wait just seemed to fly by. It finally came to the day where we went into the doctor, and Kevin came with me. He goes to my first doctor's appointments with me. And my doctor came in, and she was like, hey guys, how are you? And I was like, I'm so nervous. And she goes, okay, let's get this show on the road. So I laid down, and for those first ultrasounds, they do a transvaginal ultrasound. So as soon as she started the ultrasound, bam, saw the baby right away. I was so relieved, and then I was just waiting to see the heartbeat. And it took about 5 seconds for her to find that heartbeat, but those 5 seconds felt like 3 minutes. And I was like, where's the heartbeat, where's the heartbeat? And then finally everything just slowed down, and she got a good look at it, and then you saw that nice, strong little flicker. So that was just such a good day. I was so relieved, so happy. I ended up doing blood work and all that day. I don't do any of the genetic testings just because my doctor told me she doesn't think that it's necessary based on both Kevin and I's family history and all that. So I know that that isn't always an indicator. Like I know that anything can happen, but I've heard with those tests there are so many false negatives. Even my doctor told me there's so many false positives that women will get those test results back and show that they're a high risk for a chromosomal abnormality, and that they're freaking out their entire pregnancy. Their baby's born completely fine. So I didn't think it, I just know how I'm a worrier like that. So those tests just are not for me. But the regular first trimester screenings with like blood work and all that, everything came back great. Everything was good with that. So everything's going really, really well. I did have one scare a week after my 9-week appointment. I was 10 weeks and I started spotting a little bit. It was just a very, very light pink. So my doctor let me come in, they did an ultrasound and everything was fine. She said that sometimes like a light pink spotting or even a brown spotting is completely normal. As long as I'm not bleeding like I had a period, then that's when I need to worry. So everything has been going really well. I'm 13 and a half weeks now. I think it's 13 weeks and 4 days, something like that. Yeah, 13 weeks and 4 days, 13 and a half weeks. I'll be 14 weeks on Friday, which I'll officially be in my second trimester. So I'm so excited. We have an appointment for an early elective ultrasound to try to find out the gender of the baby. I have that at 15 weeks. I know 15 weeks can be early, but I've heard a lot of success stories about being able to find out even earlier than that. So fingers crossed that at my 15-week ultrasound that they will be able to tell me if I'm having a boy or a girl. But yeah, I'm really excited. So I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know my exciting news and plans for future videos following this pregnancy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss those pregnancy vlogs as well as my regular beauty and fashion videos. So I will just talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys again later. Bye.